Hello once again. So in the previous video, we managed to import the books table, and we also managed to go to create a books form. So I'm just going to open the books table once again, and we need to look at one thing that we did not focus on. We looked at fields and records, but we didn't fix this aspect. If you remember, the data type that we chose for available was a yes no, and we said a yes no allows us to choose from a number or from only two options, so either a yes or a no. In this case, even though we defined yes or no, our table is still showing what? 0 and -1. So what I'm going to do is, in order to fix that, I'm going to go to my design. So table design, right click, design view. Then if I go to my available field, yes, it's showing yes, no here, but I have to go on the format option. Then at the bottom there, if I'm going to click on this down arrow, it will just show me the options that we have. So a boolean can either be true, false, yes, no, on, off. In this case, we want a yes, no. So when you are done, I'm just going to close the inner X. It will prompt me to save my table. So I'm just going to click on yes. Then if I open again, now you can check on my available field. It's showing no, it's showing yes, rather than having 0 and -1. So when you're asked to show your work as a boolean, always check whether it's going to be a yes or no. If it's not showing, you need to go to design view as we have done and fix the issue. So with that, I'm just going to close. Earlier on we said we're going to be importing only two tables. So I've done the first one. I'm going to go to external data again. Then on external data, I'm going to choose text file. So under text file, I'm going to browse again for my folder, which is for database, and I'm going to scroll down up to the end, so that I get the other table, which is the format. So open. This one I have to move a bit faster because it's just more for repetition in importing. So delimited is fine. Then first row contains field names, that's a must. Then you go on to next. So if I look at this, is a very short table, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these first 4 fields, they are all short text. I hope you now know and understand short text. So followed by this one. So all numbers for now, we are saying you have to just have them as what? As integers. So they are all numbers. There is no decimal number here. So I'm going to click on next. The other option here is to choose my own primary key. In the primary key, the field that shows unique values. If I look here, type code must be the primary key. If you look at type code here, it allows me to have values that are unique. 0, 1, 0, 2, they are not repeating anyway. Click on next, then I'll just click on finish. So finally close. My table is there. So I have my table. If you want to maintain the name, it's fine. If you want to rename the table, and by now you should be able to know how to do it. You can't rename while the table is open. It won't work. You have to close the table first. Then you can go on to right click. You can go on to choose the option what to rename, and you can give whatever name you want. So I'm just going to remove this first part, so that I'll just keep it as what? Format. After that, press enter. So now you have the format table and the books table, which I've called my books. So that's it. So with this table, if I double click on it, it will show my datasheet view with my fields. How many fields do I have this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. So the fields determines the columns, the rows determines the records. So we've got 8 records, and whenever counting records, don't count the titles. Alright, if you are asked to show the design, you just need to right click, go on to the design view. That's the other view of the table, and you're normally asked to show to take a screenshot of this table design. And in any case, if you did not choose the data types correctly, you could even do it at this particular point where you can just click and choose the appropriate data type from the list of what data types. But for now, I'm not going to make any change. I'm going to just close. So with our 2 tables there, we still also have another object which is a form, but for now we need to do a relationship. Once we've got 2 more tables, we can do a relationship. Remember, we are doing, this is a relational database. Relational database means whatever tables you have in a database, there should be a relationship. So I'm going to click on database tools there. So this is where we go when you want to do relationships. So go to database tools, click on relationships, then you choose the table the tables you want. So I'm going to click the first table, format, end, click on the second table, click on end, then I have to close this show table dialog. My 2 tables are now there, and I should ensure that I drag down and here also to ensure that all the values, all the fields are visible. I can even click here on the table name and drag it across so that everything is clear. So now what I'm going to do here is I need to find the relationship that we can establish between the 2 tables. So in this case, our tables are going to be linked using 2 fields. So one of the fields is type code, and the other field is format code. So if you go on our, if I'm just going to go back to our tables for a while. So this is my table, my books table. So it has got a format code, and if I go on to my format table, it has got a type code. Those codes are related. So these are the that's how we establish a relationship. A relationship starts with the primary key to the foreign key. So I'm just going to drag my primary key and drag it to the foreign key. So here it shows the relationship and the relationship type, one-to-many relationship. So I'm taking a format code from the format table, linking it to format code in the books table. Then I'm just going to, so there are 2 options here. You can even go here and click on enforce referential integrity, and you create your one-to-many relationship shows. But at times, when you try to enforce referential integrity, it fails. So you just click on the relationship line, double click, this can come back. And if it happens that an error is coming after enforcing, don't worry, you don't need to enforce, you just untick the enforce, then you just click OK. But in this case, you find there is no relationship type one-to-many. So this screenshot won't be a proper screenshot. So if there is just a line, you need to make sure that you click on the line, double click on it again, then you can take your screenshot showing these 3 things. Your 2 tables plus the relationship type, because emphasis is mainly on the relationship type. So you should be able to take the correct screenshot. So with that, I'm going to click OK here, and I'm going to click on close. So I'm closing the relationship. It will prompt me to save, and I'll just click on yes. So I now have my 2 tables, and I now have the relationships established. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another object again using the other table, I'm just going to create a basic report. So a report should be the output of your database. So you have a table showing books. It won't be proper to print the table, the books table. You need to do something which is more presentable, which is a report. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go to create. All objects are done from create. Then I'm going to choose report wizards. So from report wizards, I'm going to choose the table that I need. So here, from here, you choose whatever table you want to use. So I'm going to use just one table. You can use reports using any number of tables or queries. For now, I'm just going to choose the format. Then, as I've done with the form, I'm selecting all the fields. Then I'm just going to click on next. Next. For now, I'm just keeping everything as it is. You could even go on to sort, ascending or descending, but we prefer not to sort at this particular point. Click on next. Then table layout, your report layout, you can choose whatever you want. My report has a few fields, so I just keep it as portrait. Then click on next. Then here title, I can even add a title. Then I'll just call it a report. Then I'm just going to click on finish. So my report is out. So that's what we call a report. So my report, as it is out, it's not looking so good. So in order to format it, I can just right click on it. Then I can just go on to layout view. So layout will enable me to make some changes on my report. So what I will do here is, if you can see, the last fields are not visible. So I need to create some space. So I can click here, this title, this field name. So click the field name, then I can press Control key, click on the value below, then I can reduce this. I can go on to this book type, then I can click on the value, reduce the size. 2 arrows allow you to reduce. Then you can move the field with with your keyboard arrows. So I'm using the left keyboard arrow. Then I go to format. Then I go on to that, try to reduce the size a bit. Then use my keyboard arrows. So I'm trying to make sure that all my fields are visible, and it's a must. When you do a report, all the fields should be visible. So here I'm just going to move with my keyboard arrow. So check, I'm just moving the fields. So I didn't do the control, so I also need to move this. So you can move them all at once, or you can move one at a time. So it will be wiser to hit the control key so that you can move the field as well as the values. So I'm going on to this one. So this one is too narrow. I have to increase the size first. Then I will need to move. Click on device, click on the values, then I can move it across. So that's it. Then go on to these points. So nothing is visible here, so I need to increase with these 2 arrows showing. Then I can go on to move. Now you can see all my values are shown on my report. That's what you call a report. So a report is the one that will allow you to view your information appropriately. So with your reports, there are also a number of things that we can look at with the report. There are some calculations that can be done on a report. There is grouping and sorting that can also be done on the report, and also there is you should be able to play with, around with some objects like text boxes and labels when you want to add maybe your details to the reports. But for now, these are the objects that you should be. So I'm just going to close this report. So I'm just going to click on yes. So these are the objects that you should be confident to create.